Have you ever stopped to think about all the work that goes into making your favorite show? From lighting to wardrobe to long hours of editing, every show that comes across your screen has had hours and hours poured into it. But before any of that can happen, there has to be a story. At their core, shows are stories. And if you're anything like me, you love a good main character. This character is the glue that holds everything together, the one that makes the story worth our time. Everything depends on them, what they do, how they're perceived, what they're like, what they want. It's all about them. I'm Jean, and like many of us, I sometimes wonder, who in the story of our lives is the main character? It might seem obvious at first. Duh, it's me. I'm at the center. No brainer. But what if God designed a life for us where we're not actually the main character? And what if that's actually a good thing? You might think main character energy just showed up randomly on your algorithm, but Jesus was talking about this concept over 2,000 years ago. The book of Matthew records one of Jesus's most famous sermons called the Sermon on the Mount. And here, maybe for the first time, people heard that they might not be the main character of their own story. Let's look and see how Jesus taught this. Matthew 6, verses 1 and 2 says, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father in heaven. So whenever you give to the poor, don't sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be applauded by people. Truly I tell you, they have their reward." Jesus warned his listeners that doing good deeds so that other people would see them and be impressed was actually just making it all about them. If their goal in doing what they knew was right was just to get brownie points with other people, they had missed the point. They thought their impressive giving and serving would get them the recognition they deserved. See, there were people making a huge deal about giving money to poor people. These guys seriously went around and made a big fuss whenever they would give money or food or help to a beggar, so that people would look at them and think, wow, they are so awesome. They wanted to look good on the outside, but they weren't too concerned about changing on the inside. I can relate. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't walk around with a trumpet telling people how awesome I am, but I've definitely done good things so that people would notice. And sometimes my life on Sunday didn't match my life on Saturday night. I was putting on a show. I served because I wanted to feel good about myself and because I wanted people to see me. But what if it's not about me? And what if it's not about you either? What if God isn't looking for people with main character energy, but people with Jesus-like humility? Let's pick back up in verse 3 and see what this looks like. "But when you give to the poor, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you." Okay, so let's unpack what Jesus was saying here. Have you ever tried to literally do something with your left hand and your right hand doesn't know about it? It's impossible. So what did Jesus mean? Jesus used this exaggeration to help his listeners understand how they are designed to live, with humility. When we serve with humility, we serve knowing that it's about others, not about you. And let me just say, Jesus is the number one example of this. The ultimate display of humility was when Jesus gave up his life on the cross. When he did that, he died for our benefit. He was willing to give up everything so that we could have all the comforts that come with being in right relationship with God. When we know this and embrace it, we're able to serve without looking for validation for ourselves. Jesus gave up his whole life for us so that we can know him and live into the purpose he has for us. And part of that purpose is to live like Jesus, with humility and serving other people, not just always looking out for ourselves. For some of us, that may mean giving actual money, and for others, it may mean giving up our time or our spot at our lunch table. No matter what we're sacrificing, we do it because we know that Jesus first gave to us. You do have a story, and it's a great story. You were designed with a purpose, and God created you with intentional care. Your identity and purpose don't come from what you do, from what others say about you, or how much others like you, but it comes from who God says you are and the narrative he has written for you. You were never meant to be the main character. The main character is, and always has been, Jesus. You were never meant to carry that weight of being at the center or to hold it all together. God already does. There's immense peace and humility in being just a part of the story God has written.